Let's get to this question where it says, how will you recruit and hire more police officers in a way that is different than the current administration? Yes, with this spike in crime, there's been talk about the city of Atlanta hiring 800 new police officers. I was reading, according to the Police Foundation, it takes 21 weeks for the police academy, and then they need to be out there on the streets for another 12 weeks training, and then up to 3 years before they can be promoted. So what is your plan basically to recruit and hire all these police officers so that there are more than 80 police officers here in Buckhead patrolling Zone 2? We'll start with Ms. King.
Yes, I think it goes back to moral support, helping them and giving them the great morale, letting them know that I'm on their side. As mayor and having a family in law enforcement, I know what it takes. I know what they go through. And we've gotten to a point in our time, in our life, that we have to help them be proactive and not reactive. We've asked our police officers to show up to situations where they're put in harm's way daily. We need conflict resolution. We need them out in the community. So they need to know that they have someone that supports them with due process and is willing to work and back them up.
Ms. Gay.
I've recruited and hired a lot of people in my career. And I know the first thing you have to do is make the place a good place to work. Nobody's going to come if Atlanta's perceived as a terrible place to be a police officer. So we absolutely got to support our police, restore the morale, be very clear about what we want them to do, make sure they have enough training, enough officers doing the training to have a chance at being a successful officer. And that's the first thing we can do to make Atlanta an attractive place to work. The second thing we need to do is reach out to the private sector. We've got to be able to hire, recruit faster than we do now. So I absolutely would reach out to the private sector for help in reworking our recruiting process, taking a different approach, being more thoughtful about who we recruit and how we go about it, and so that we could hire faster, but also train effectively to build a force.
To do this, we have to get recruitment done rapidly. Some is going to come from our cadet training, but others is going to happen by us going to other jurisdictions and just being competitive. We're going to have to go out there, and the mayor has to be the recruiter in chief for the city of Atlanta. And so one thing that we'll do is we'll go to all across the Southeast and the South to make sure that officers want to leave wherever they are to rapidly come here, because we can't train quickly enough to get to 250 in the first year. But as for training, we have to have world-class facilities, which is why I personally voted for the public safety training facility. But also, I have put together the Unity House, which is where we're going to have 38 officers that are able to go through cadet training and live in the city of Atlanta. Cadets are going through and living in cars and sleeping in motels and hotels for those 20+ weeks. Now, because of me and my relationship with APF, the Atlanta Police Foundation, and Invest Atlanta, I have helped to build a new housing that recruits will go that be able to live in. This is important to boost the morale of the police force so we can attract officers quickly.
Ms. Moore, Mr. Reed. Go ahead, Ms. Moore.
So first we need this. I think I need your
Try it again. That's not, try it again. Nope. There you go.
So first, we need to stop losing them. After we do that, we need to look at getting an HR professional that will give us a very aggressive strategic plan on how we can hire more of the officers. The officers that we have now, we need to take advantage of what we have and maybe get back some of the officers that that left us recently, and see if we can hire them on a contract for a year or two while we're helping to beef up our forces. We need to get good leadership in the department that can help attract and help us to retain other officers in the force. Also, we need to look at the people that have left, because we need to make sure that we also have some seasoned officers, and we don't want to just hire everybody. We want to make sure that we have good officers that know the job and that are sensitive to the community. So we need to do all of those things in very rapid fashion. If we're lucky, right now we're hiring maybe 100, 120 a year. So that would take 8 years to get to 800.
Mr. Reed.
I will do it because I've done it. It won't take 8 years to get to 800. During my tenure, we hired more than 200 police officers every year, 6 out of the 8 years. We need to expand recruitment to the Southeast. We need to partner with the Atlanta Police Foundation, fund their work so that they can move at private sector speed. We also need to fully staff our internal operation, which isn't fully staffed right now. And we have hundreds of inquiries coming in about being police officers. So if you want to know how to do it, identify the person who's done it. We didn't hire 750 officers. We hired 900, and we built the biggest police force in history and left crime at 40 years lows. We can do that again.
Thank you. Let's get over to this question.